Don't.
Welcome to Mab Investigates.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for
Investigate
joining.
over there, over there.
Over there. I'm over here. I look yellow.
I can't. How do I get back to the chat, you guys? Okay, I got it. Native QT, what's up? Fuzzy Bedhead, Mrs. Mrs. Mab, H. Davis. Good to see you.
Sage, native cutie. Good to see you
Hey,
guys. Welcome to this dreary.
Cubbies. We got 3 people. Damn, we're so
I know. Woo-hoo.
hell yeah.
That's okay. We've been.
Wake your mama, wake your babies, wake the grandmother and the
I
grandfather,
trying to.
awake the grand sister, wake them all, and tell them the Mabster is in the damn house, Fruit Loops. That's what I want you to do. Come on, man.
Come
We got a
on.
hell of a show. We got a damn good show for you today. It's going to be one hell of a show. Can y'all hear me good? Give me a thumbs up, buddy. Where you shake your damn head for? Uh-huh. Oh, I got to close the door.
Oh
Oh,
my
I
God.
get the
He
drink.
is too much. Can't figure out where to sit here. Got my screen all messed up or something. You're gonna get lipstick on you.
Off, man.
He says I have too much lipstick on. Never too much lipstick. Right, ladies? Never. So yeah, it's gray and yucky, and it's gonna rain here in Cali, but we need the rain, so we're okay with that. Angel Loader, welcome. Hello. Hello, hello. Waiting for Mab to lead the show here.
Okay, I think you're good. All right. You guys ever hear of DEI? You know what that is? I don't even know what the hell it is. Diversity, equity. I can't hear you at all. Oh, I think I screwed up your mic settings.
Oh.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know that I can adjust mine anymore.
I already fixed it.
You fixed it.
And that passed, yeah.
Okay, because you're
And
that
passed
good.
everything except for one thing.
What would that be?
One thing that matters, and I cannot say it on YouTube.
Okay.
You know what
I don't know.
I
I don't know.
Directed energy weapons.
Dudes,
DEW.
yeah, that's a DE, but it's a little different.
Yeah, DE. Directed energy weapons is what we need to get rid of DEI. Aim those directed energy weapons at every DEI hire, every agency, every job, everywhere. Because it kills people. Actually kills people.
Okay, Fruit Loop says that you still
Can't hear Mab. See if I can.
I feel like we have issues every time, but
it says I can edit your mic settings, but well, let's see.
We will get there. We will get there.
Audio. All right, how's that?
Oh, I can hear you better.
Is that better?
Is that better? I don't know. We haven't had a.
Can you hear me, Fruit Loops? Can you hear me now? All right, H. Davis. Thank you very much.
Thanks, H.
Thank you very much. We got
I went to the doctor today and got a blood draw for my next physical, and I am such a weenie. I was like broke out in a cold sweat, and then I got a preventive little stick in the arm, and
Axis, huh?
Not that one.
Oh Lord!
Shingles. I did the shingles.
I just put shingles on the house recently.
Not that kind of shingles.
I wish I could get a shingles vaccine. I probably wouldn't have to pay that money to re-roof the damn house. Shit. Jinkies! Holy shit!
Oh, wow. Jinky's in the
Jinkies, rumor
house.
has it. In the
Oh my
house.
goodness, it's like a celebrity
We
coming to
love
see us.
Jinkies.
Thank you. Not that everybody else isn't important, but
We love Jinkies.
we love Jinkies. Thank you for coming.
You're not
Appreciate
as
it.
loud as you should be, honey.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix that.
Is it better now? Shit. Every time I do that, it makes it worse.
Hey, Dumplin'. Good to see
Dumplin'.
you. Thanks for coming,
What's
guys.
up, baby? Baby girl. All right.
I'm excited. Got peeps
Are you
here.
excited? We got 12 now. We are rocking and rolling.
Oh my goodness. Can I
I
retire?
had a channel last night, say. I've had a channel for like a year.
It's just
But
we've been vacant. We've taken a sabbatical for about 6
a little
months.
operation.
Got a little owie on Mab, and
Now we in my face. It's still not healed.
I think the dog just farted. Oh,
Oh, Lord.
God. Lord. Stinkiest dog farts. Yikes.
So what do you think about these drones? What the hell is going on with the drones? All of a sudden, there's nothing going on with drones. Jinky, love you.
So
Jenkins is going to win Turtle Island.
there haven't been any drones since the last drone episode, right? Or have there?
There are still drones, yeah. Yeah, it was 9 months.
What was 9 months?
9 months. I don't think it was that long.
Oh my gosh, Julie.
Last
I
week.
wouldn't be surprised. We got, I don't know.
Thanks, Dumplin'. Thank you.
We would talk about it all the time. Like, we need to go live. We need to go live. And it was always like, oh, I don't have any makeup on. Or, oh, we're about to do XYZ. Let's do it later. And then the weekend's over and we're like, oh, we didn't do it. Shoot. And that happened for 9 months.
A lot of it was my face. And it still sucks. I mean, it's horrible. We have a community page. Have we ever put anything on the community page? I wonder. I got to get into this YouTube stuff.
Yeah, dog farts are bad.
We need to get 2,000 subs is what we need.
Hey, Shelly Seashells. Nice
Shelly
to see you.
Picking up seashells by the seashore.
By the seashore. No lisping going on here.
I'm going to win. I don't know. You got Bomb in there.
For Mab to win. But you know what? Bombshell.
See what happened last time.
She's got a few more fans than we do. So it'd be a miracle if we won. I would be so honored. But I don't see it. And that's okay. I mean, it's just
I've been in the top 5 every single season.
Every time. I think you were in the top 3, right?
I was 3rd year before last, or the season before last.
Which is crazy.
Last season, I don't remember when I got knocked out, but I think I got the record for the number of
most kicks.
Votes. Yeah.
Other than Bullhorn Betty now.
If you added them all up, I think it was like 300 or something.
But you were on that
hundreds, and then I got them all erased, like with 18 minutes to go, and then I got so many negative votes.
But it was like double votes. You got
I had the curse.
Devil card, the curse card. That's right. Julie, I know. We knew that going on Turtle Island meant we were going to do some lives, and that's okay because it was the push that we needed.
Oh yeah, we wanted. That kind of made us do the lives because we haven't done a video in 9 months. I mean, come on.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
What are you doing?
HB got hit last night pretty damn hard.
Well, it's crazy that it took 3 episodes when everybody wants her gone, and then she got saved, and then she got immunity, and then just Bullhorn Buddy. Somebody gave her immunity. So, it's just like Dolly says, you don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen.
Never know. I just love playing the game.
Fun.
It's competitive, and I just like, competitive bullshit, and everybody's you know, targeting somebody, and just fun. All Channel 1 last season. I got a good chance, Jinky says. So what do we got?
Chewy's Kitchen. Hey.
Chewy's Kitchen. Is that
I think Huntress won. Didn't Huntress win or did Bombshell win? I can't remember.
Huntress won.
Okay. Yeah.
It's time to shine,
I get mixed
out
up.
there and grow. That's right. I want to grow this channel to huge. Because I do a lot of like construction projects, fabrication stuff, masonry. I mean, I do everything.
Everything.
Nothing that I don't do.
Sorry. Hang on.
So I've been filming a lot of crap that I do. Hey, Pat. Good to see you. Happy Friday.
Hey, Pat. Yeah, in fact, we filmed our freezer deep thing this morning.
Our ice capade.
I have your phone, though. Do you need it?
Let me see if the video, like, populated.
We have all of our appliances are like 20 years old, but they're good quality appliances, so everything's okay, but something's wrong with our freezer. And we unplugged the ice maker, but it's still...
Text myself that picture with my phone. Hold on.
It still freezes. The bottom layer of the freezer gets this layer of ice, and he's back.
This is my lovely wife. Listen, I just want to tell you, Mab Melania is prettier than Melania.
That's not true, honey. Don't even.
She's the greatest wife ever. You gotta love her. She's the greatest ever, and I mean that. Go, Mab.
Oh my goodness. As I was saying, so we get this thick layer of ice under the freezer, the drawer, and it scrapes when you open it and it scrapes when you close it. So we've got to get down there and get that ice out every 3, 4, 5 weeks. So.
Oh, the ice, yeah.
Mab filmed it this morning.
We filmed it. We're starting to film
everything. Thank you, Jinkies. You're cute. Thank you. Hi, Tammy. And make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's see if we have this vid. What else is interesting in our lives? See, that's the thing. We're relatively boring. We live in a little tiny town that's 10, 15 minutes away from the nearest bigger town. And we've got our kitty and our doggo and our gardens. Mab has his shop and his tools. And I don't know.
Why can't I
Julie,
find
we did get a tripod.
Yeah, we got a tripod.
Got a tripod. That's how we filmed our freezer escapade.
I just sent it to myself, but it ain't here yet.
Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you. Honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were also going to talk about the fires. Mab has some cool footage. And New Jersey drones. All right.
Yeah, what happened to the drones? Let's share a video here. This is Chase Hughes, I believe, and he's awesome. So Jennifer, hey Tammy a little bit. Got 21 peeps now. Let's get this thing rolling. All right. Share stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I wish we had a picture of that cement slab that you finished, because that looks.
We have a video of that.
Really good. Really, really good. We had this.
Let's do that first.
Yucky piece of concrete that we're going to put a shop on. No. What are we putting out there? A carport? I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be like a little garage.
Garage. Yeah. Losing my words.
About that.
Oh,
See that?
All right.
You see it?
Mrs. Map here. You don't really want to close up to me, but here's the finished product. We've got
so
our
pretty.
self-leveling concrete. Self-leveling.
Yeah, I hope it levels more than it is right now, but it'll be fine.
Looks pretty damn good if you ask me. Nice job, Map.
For two old people? I mean, come on.
Come on, man.
Come on in here.
We don't want to close up with me.
Beautiful.
Thank you. But
I don't have the touch
no.
up in this.
No.
I sit in that
blind.
Wait. Come on, girl.
Come on, man.
You're
You're not
naturally
having makeup
beautiful.
or
You're
anything
naturally
on.
beautiful. You don't need to. I don't need makeup. I think chicks are more beautiful without makeup. But you know what? Old people can do shit. I'm 62. She's 40 something.
Old
And,
people can do stuff.
we're gonna put ourselves a garage up here, and we ain't paying thousands of dollars for somebody else to do it. We do our own shit. We do our own shit. We all our own shit.
You're wearing the same outfit, honey.
Yeah, except for the hats.
Yeah, he put this thing together by himself. Whoa.
They didn't have a trowel this big, so if you can see, I welded the whole thing.
Oh, I think you showed this last time.
I did, but it's so
You
cool.
did.
We're showing it again.
Okay. Then I'm gonna step out for a second.
What? Where are you going? Water pipe on it. And this is how I spread the
I'll be right back.
all that shit. All right, y'all. Peace out. We'll be back. We're going live soon. All right, we're back. I'm back. Yeah, before and after pictures. The community page. That's a good idea, Julie. I've got to find a before picture because there was like 1.5-inch cracks in that thing. There was like 5 different slabs, and they were all like different levels. I had to fill all those cracks, and then I had to float all the concrete with different material. And then it's been good. Each day was better. I'm about 4 hours north, 5 hours. How are we at? 4 or 5 hours north of LA.
Of LA.
Yeah.
350 miles. So it depends. Once you get, it's about 4 hours to Santa Barbara from here. And then from Santa Barbara down, an hour or two, depending on traffic and all that good stuff. But yeah, I think it's 350 miles.
350 miles.
Los Angeles. And we are 90 miles from San Francisco. South. We are south of San Francisco.
Yeah, Fruit Loops, that concrete, once you spread it, it just keeps moving. There's a special primer under it, and then it just keeps moving and leveling. Because at the end, I dumped a bunch out in the yard. I thought it was going to be just a clump, but it moved all over the yard and made a concrete little statue of the ground. Mold.
So we're far from the LA fires, but there was, and I talked about this last time, there was a fire. We have a large power plant in a little area called Moss Landing. It's kind of by Monterey. So there's our major PG&E power plant there. And then there's the world's largest battery storing facility. So there's like a Tesla battery facility, and then there's another one, I can't remember who owns it, some energy company, and those batteries burned about 2 weeks ago. The place caught on fire, and apparently you can't put out a battery fire with water, so they just had to let it burn for a couple days. And luckily we are just far enough away that we didn't have any of the fumes, but man, not good.
Here's the fire thing right here.
Can't see it.
No. I got green first.
Can't see it.
Make this
Max. Hey, Max.
Let's
Yeah. Well, okay, so Highway 17 is closer to Santa Cruz. So we're 30 minutes from Highway 17. I grew up in Santa Cruz, so I'm very familiar with Highway 17. Are you I think we've talked to you before. Are you by 17? Deb. Hey Deb. Hey Sassy Mama.
Yeah, this is the fire in Moss Landing.
Those
And
two stacks are the power stacks. You can see them from a ways
A
away.
massive fire and cleanup efforts that could take years. The fire may be mostly out, but the risk isn't over for those dealing with the aftermath. Thick black smoke rose.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm going to the part I don't want to get struck.
Okay.
A decision like this isn't taken lightly.
Oh.
It's really the best option, both for first responders.
Yeah, this is
Battery modules capable of storing 400 megawatt hours of power.
There's
Then there's phase
stacks.
3, which brought on another phase 3, which brought
We have these stacks right here. These two stacks right here. You can see these from miles away.
Miles and
You
miles.
know
They're right
where you're at.
on the coastline. That's crazy.
Yeah, right across the street from the Moss Landing Harbor. It's where Jamie's stepfather lives. She loves him.
building containing racks of battery modules capable of storing 400 megawatt hours of power. Then there's phase 3, which brought on another 1,400 megawatt hours of capacity, and that was completed in 2023. Adjacent to these facilities is an additional 730 megawatt hours of storage built by Tesla and operated by PG&E, which went online in 2022. Overall, I'd still classify this as a new facility. Everything here is less than 5 years old. Phase 1 is where the fire occurred. The way this battery energy storage system is designed creates a significant risk.
What's that?
I said the ocean. I mean, it is right
inside
on
this
the
facility.
ocean.
You want me to mute this and just play it? These are the
Each rack contains multiple battery modules, and when one module fails, a single cell fails inside that module, it can lead to a catastrophic event, this cascading thermal runaway event. And in a warehouse setup like this, there's little to prevent the fire from spreading throughout the entire facility. This isn't the first time.
These fumes are like totally toxic.
But they are
ion batteries. I don't know if there's oil in there or what, but I haven't studied lithium ion batteries, but it can't be good. Plastic and all kinds of chemicals. People that live in Prunedale, up about 15 minutes south of us, they're kind of in a valley that all that smoke went into.
And Moss Landing has faced problems. In September of 2021, overheating in the facility's battery modules led to a significant shutdown. While there was no fire, the incident brought out some safety concerns with the
we got to stop it and start it because we're doing commentary.
Facility's cooling and monitoring systems. Just months later, in February of 2022, another overheating event caused part of the system to shut down. This time, there was visible damage to the battery's racks. This facility does have a suppression system that uses water, and they've got advanced smoke and heat detectors within the building. But these systems had their own vulnerabilities. For example, all that contaminated water, it would flow.
So this is a look of is that the Pajaro River, sweetheart?
I don't know. What? Probably. But I mean, that's the Monterey Bay. This is the Monterey Bay, and it's a sanctuary. So to have power plants and batteries, I mean, the planning department and the coastal commission in this area is so strict that it's crazy that this went through and it was built so quickly and online so quickly for the way they treat you and give you permits to build and things like that.
Go directly into the ocean, creating an environmental nightmare. Even if they did manage to put out the fire, they'd still be left with thousands of damaged battery cells containing stranded energy. This could drag on the incident even longer as crews deal with the risk of reignition. On top of that, trying to extinguish the fire means the gases being released from that battery, they're not fully consumed. Allowing it to burn actually provides for a more complete combustion, which helps reduce the off-gassing. Then there's the issue of firefighter safety. We still don't fully understand the long-term health effects of the exposure to the smoke from these types of fires.
I'm sure it's wonderful breathing in that shit.
That sucks.
All these factors combined make the decision to let it burn the safest and most practical option. Moss Landing's warehouse-style sections reflect a time when battery storage was still an emerging technology. Codes and standards have since evolved, but these older designs remain operational, creating vulnerability to disaster.
Oops.
This incident is really similar to for a while. You know, this isn't the first time that facilities like this have faced disaster. This incident is really similar to another major best fire that happened only 7 months ago in Otay Mesa. Back in May 2024, that facility experienced a catastrophic fire that burned for days.
Another thing is, honey, it's a huge agricultural area around here. So
Much
all
like
that,
Moss Landing,
Go ahead, honey. What?
all that, I mean, you saw all that land around the power plant. There's tons of ag here, lettuce and berries
Artichoke.
and artichokes. I mean, this is a huge
Strawberry.
agricultural area. So all this smoke and toxins can't be good for the soil, for the water, for the food. So there's that for the chickens.
Wrap this up here.
Otay Mesa fire caused significant damage, forcing the facility to shut down completely. That contributed to their failures. The warehouse-style layout with densely packed racks. The building was divided into 5 separate sections with firewall in between. This design helped keep the damage contained to just one section of the facility. I often see people push back on this type of coverage, making comparisons to larger fires like those in big box stores. And they're absolutely right. Massive warehouse or big box stores can cause major incidents, including evacuations and toxic smoke affecting neighborhoods. But there are some key differences.
Knowing.
Okay. Can you turn it off?
Yep, I just did.
Okay.
Learning how to do this shit, honey.
We're getting there. So, yeah, that was
That's right,
2
Dumplin'.
weeks ago.
Thank you.
What?
Title 17, USC Section 107. The material in this video is distributed without profit. It's made available for research and educational purposes. It's not a
Only.
for-profit enterprise. I ain't made a damn cent off of YouTube.
This is for information and
Commentary only.
educational, and
Uh,
I'm losing my brain cells.
let's talk about these damn drones.
That's you. I don't have
Yeah.
much. I don't have much about the drones.
Well, you got drones the size of a freaking SUV flying all over the place in New Jersey, and a fighter jet can't even catch one. And they don't know where they're going. They don't know where they're coming from, and they don't know how they work. And I think the guy that blew his Tesla up in front of Trump Tower knew a little bit about what the hell's going on. You're talking about anti-gravity tech. I know damn well they've had anti-gravity tech since '58. So it must be really advanced by now. So let's check something else out here real quick.
Yeah.
And more weird stuff every single day.
Were they in Cuba?
It's Chase Hughes, 507,000 subscribers. Awesome channel. Go subscribe. Chase, don't strike me, please. Doing a little educational stuff here.
or non-human?
Non-human.
We are not alone.
You deserve to know how to tell what the hell is going on. And I just did a very confidential talk to my inner circle last night. But I think that you need to see this.
People within the U.S. government believe it's true.
The world deserves the truth.
Growing number of drone sightings.
They are non-human, higher intelligence.
The unidentified aircraft are the size of cars.
Like the classic UFO that you would see online.
A lot of people are wondering what the hell is going on. But what if I told you that the most dangerous thing is happening, but it's inside of your head? If you just think about it for a second, there's decades of silence on UFOs, and now suddenly the government is obsessed with talking about them. I want to show you exactly tonight what the plans and motivations are if this is being done on purpose. And then I want to walk you through a foolproof way on how to spot public manipulation.
This guy is a PSYOP expert. He taught it in the CIA. He taught CIA people how to do PSYOPs. And he has a manual you can buy on eBay, and it's like freaking 2 inches thick. I think I'm going to get it and start doing that.
I'm also maybe going to talk about what to do if it's actually aliens.
We do have aliens on this planet, just to let you know.
And
If you don't know, I'm the guy that trains PSYOPs. I'm the person that teaches this kind of stuff to companies and stuff. So the government's kind of gone from decades of denial to throwing around terms like UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, in official hearings. Add to that this sudden rise in reports of drones all over the place, these weird sightings and emergency declarations that are going on. I think in New
I want to say hi.
It's like we're being prepped for something, but what are we being prepared for? So let's dig in. So why would this be happening?
So here's my thought, just straight up. We don't have an enemy right now. We don't have an enemy that we can dump millions of dollars into and get millions and billions of dollars into the military industrial complex. They're going to strike this video, I'm sure.
I can't hear you very well.
Oh, well, we need a new enemy, and I think the next enemy is going to be aliens. Because, I mean, China maybe, but aliens, I think it's the next big thing, and I think they're kind of prepping us for that. That's why they did this drone PSYOP to kind of normalize this situation. See what this guy has to say about it.
Happening right now. So we're going to go both sides. It's aliens, it's not aliens. Let's do both sides here. Most governments don't just usually open up about things like this without a reason. With all governments, when they start pushing a narrative, it's most often to serve a bigger agenda if this is deliberate. So here are 3 possible reasons I can think of why this might be happening. Number 1, a distraction tactic. When huge issues are brewing, like economic instability, political unrest, global crises, somebody's done something bad and it's about to get in the news, governments usually and very often create some kind of distraction. So remember when the Pentagon released UFO footage in 2020, that conveniently happened during a global pandemic, this chaotic thing that was going on around the entire world that we all suffered through. Number 2, using fear as a tool.
Yeah, I think they do that a lot.
A lot. I want to say hi to OG Granny.
Future events that appear real is what fear is. But they're not real. And fear is something you should never have. Because, yeah, that's a long story, but we'll get into that in another video.
So fear unites people. So if there is a threat big enough, and I want you to remember, if you're just listening to me right now, I'm sitting on your kitchen counter or something like that, and you're making dinner. I said the word threat with huge quotes around it. If there's a threat big enough, like UFOs, people are more likely to trust their leaders, give up freedoms, and rally behind whatever solution that they're offered. It's the same playbook used during the Cold War. This was called the Red Scare for that reason.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. The Red Scare is now gone. We won the Cold War. The military-industrial complex today is, in the Ukraine. That's where they're making all their money. And without wars, they're kind of out of business. That's why they don't like Trump.
Or post 9/11 with the war on terror and the Patriot Act. And then number 3, testing the waters. This goes back to BC years. All 3 of these things go back to the BC years. This is not something that's original. So governments tend to test and gauge how people react. So if we accept UFOs as real and we don't freak out, that means we can kind of escalate the narrative without any pushback. So think of it like kind of a slow drip instead of pouring it all out at one time. And if you want to look back at some of these historical parallels, this is not the first time this has happened. Just a few that come to mind right now. The first is the Gulf of Tonkin. This happened in...
That's what started the Vietnam War. Fake situation.
63 or 64.
I remember that. I was 1 year old.
1963 or 64. The United States used extremely questionable reports of attacks on naval ships, which were not true, to justify escalating this Vietnam War. And then in 1962, we had this thing called Operation Northwoods.
I remember that. I was just born. I remember seeing it on TV.
This is a declassified plan about the U.S. officials staging, quote, fake attacks, completely fake attacks, like blowing up planes with people in them to justify military actions against Cuba. And in the post 9/11, what I would call a fear campaign. So after the attacks, governments push for these just sweeping changes like the Patriot Act, which expanded.
And to repeal all that shit. Since we already won the war on terrorists, repeal everything. Get all terrorists out, we'll be fine.
Massive surveillance under the guise of terrorism. So if you just replace terrorism or communism with UFOs, you can start to see a pattern. So what might be happening? What might be happening right here? Replace terrorism or communism with UFOs, you can start to see a pattern.
Some bitch right here. One of the evilest bastards in the world right here. John Podesta. Yep. Another video.
So what might be happening? What might be happening right here? It might upset you. It might piss you off, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. So keep that in your back pocket for just a second. Number 1 is a normalization phase. So just steadily leaking UFO footage, holding hearings, using all these terms like UAPs all the time. The government makes the idea of something out there seem reasonable. So this keeps people curious, but not panicked. Curious, but not panicked. The second part of this is setting the stage for a big reveal. And I want you to keep that one in mind. So at some point, we might see a more dramatic event, like a giant UFO sighting over a major city, or footage that is just impossible to dismiss. And
got some of those coming right up.
Hey, honey.
You could think,
yeah.
I want to pause for a second because we've got some new people in chat.
All right.
We have True Wrecking Crime. I want to say hi to. We've got Angel Loader, a Joy Seeker, Chatty Jen, Grand Mammy Annie, and I know I'm missing someone. There was somebody else. OG Nanny, Joshua. Those few have joined us in the last few minutes, so I wanted to say hi to everybody. And Julie mentioned she's trying to find you on Facebook. Do you have MAB Investigates on Facebook?
The MAB Investigates group. but I have to figure out how to work it.
Okay, because I thought you did. So we'll.
Yeah, I don't want to go to my personal Facebook because that's
No.
Yeah.
So we're getting there, Julie.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Okay, thanks.
Giant holograms, giant drones, or other advanced tech, just creating something that you cannot ignore. So number 3 would be a need for a savior. So once the threat feels real enough, governments or even global coalitions could step in as these heroes. They might call for increased defense budgets. Maybe all the governments in this area need to unite into one big government, maybe a global response team. And I say that with quotes around it, to handle this.
There it is, my theory. Alien invasion. Come one big country.
Threat. So this could lead to giant power shifts and more control in fewer hands is kind of maybe the goal of that. And this, you could look this up. There was even a plan to stage a fake kind of alien invasion. This is on record on paper that there was a full government plan to make a fake alien invasion. But what could be next? What could be down the pipeline from right now? If we follow this theory to the logical next step here, here's what might happen. First would be escalating UFO reports. They expect a lot more sightings, near misses with airplanes, mysterious objects interfering with infrastructure like power grids or airports. It's going to feel real and urgent. The next would be a media blitz that would come after that. So mainstream media will amplify the story.
Don't believe anything mainstream media tells you because it's all lies. So you know.
They're going to interview pilots. They're going to release grainy videos and have experts explain these things that are maybe defying physics. The goal, potentially, and I say all of this as a potential hypothetical, to make everybody believe this is a huge deal. Next would be a global event, and this could be something absolutely wild, like some kind of coordinated UFO appearance, maybe a simulated attack, or even some claim that we've made contact. And it doesn't have to be real. It just has to be believable enough. And of course, then we have a solution. So after the chaos, governments might roll out solutions like new defense initiatives, new military spending, government coalitions, governments kind of coming together, expanded surveillance maybe, and calls for like some international cooperation. So the sky's the limit for this conjecture, but maybe it's theatrics. But remember that not every light in the sky is some alien. Stay very grounded in what's provable and know that I've never said this publicly before. So here's
how to spot a psyop.
Here's how to spot a psyop. And I've never said this publicly.
And this drone event, in my opinion, was definitely a psyop
before. But here is the step-by-step formula that will enable you to spot a psychological operation. Separating manipulation from genuine news is like kind of playing detective. So here's a few steps that will
always have lots of sources, lots of different sources. Consume all the information and use common sense to figure out what's real.
Put you on top of everybody for being able to spot a psyop. Number one is analyze the source.
Yeah.
Is the outlet known for credible reporting, or do they thrive in like sensationalism?
Chaos.
So established outlets like Reuters, sometimes Wall Street Journal, they report facts first, and others are way into drama. And psyops, psychological operations, extremely, very much rely on sensational headlines. If you see sensational headlines, you need to get the hell out. This is on all media, on both sides of the aisle. There is no aisle if you hadn't got that figured out already. So next is who owns that platform that you're looking at. So media ties with
maybe 4 or 5 people on all the media in the world.
Pharmaceutical companies, political entities, defense contractors, I dare you to look that one up tonight. And so step 2, question the timing. So you want to ask yourself, does the story that I'm looking at right now,
So the timing of the drones,
Yeah.
because when did they start? November?
Right.
Right
After
after the election.
the election.
Right? There you go.
Yep. All kinds of things happen around elections. Sort of
Yeah.
notice a pattern there.
PSYOPs.
appear during a major crisis or scandal or upcoming election, maybe.
Maybe.
PSYOPs will very often distract from bigger issues like UFO footage released during major policy debates or global unrest. Huge red flag. Next is to follow the narrative. And I promise you don't have to go do 5 hours of research to do it. You just ask yourself, are multiple outlets, this one question right here, are multiple outlets parroting the exact same language? If you see that
I can watch this and I can already tell.
Shit going down, you need to be very terrified that something's going into your brain that doesn't belong there. Yeah. So PSYOPs use coordinated messaging to reinforce a narrative.
That's what's happened to California. We've been psyoped.
Brainwashed. My goodness.
Brainwashed and psyoped into this woke thing.
Yes.
It's such bullshit that
it is so wild here. I mean,
oh my God, you guys don't even know, man.
It's embarrassing.
Like, me and Mrs. Mab will take you guys to downtown Santa Cruz.
But
you know, Front Street.
Back in the day, I traveled a lot with my mom, and you go somewhere, it's like, oh, I'm from California, or I'm from Santa Cruz, and oh my God, and everybody, it's like you felt proud to be from California, and now it's like embarrassing to say you live here.
Totally embarrassing.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch this.
Okay, sorry.
A bit more.
So look for phrases that feel copy and pasted, like unprecedented threat or undeniable evidence. Those little phrases, you're going to hear them. You will start to hear these everywhere you look. And the moment you hear copy paste phrases, that is a PSYOP. So step 4, look for emotional triggers.
Big one.
So all PSYOPs thrive on pushing your buttons. Think about the FATE model, if you know what that is: focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. So this is fear, anger, amazement. So if a story feels like it's designed, and I say the word designed with bold, underline, italics, if a story feels like it's designed to make you react emotionally, get out as fast, but don't even finish the story. Ask ChatGPT about what you're trying to figure out. So
ChatGPT, I don't even know what that is. I mean, I'm
somebody tell us what ChatGPT is.
AI,
Julie probably knows.
AI. It's an AI deal. Bogey, what's happening, bro? Or girl. How you doing, sweet?
Hard to see those tiny little icons.
Well, yeah, especially when you're in like Dolly Vision, where I hang out a lot. It can't tell the gender.
No, hard to tell by some of the names if you're male or female.
Most of the names you
the two
can
genders.
Tell a lot you can't, like Bogey Green Street.
Juicer
1968.
Juicer.
So,
Gen X Juicer.
There you go.
So stories about UFOs that emphasize unknown threats without any evidence. You should be pretty careful about that. And then just check the evidence. You ask yourself the question, are they providing evidence like document data, eyewitness accounts, or relying on anonymous sources and some vague claims? So if you ever hear the words, and I want you to burn these words into your head. I've never told anyone in my life how to expose a PSYOP. But if you do all of these at once, you will never be manipulated. This one question
feels important. Get out your pen, get out your paper, write this shit down.
I think one of the most important things on here is consider the source.
Yeah.
And in medicine, that is always, evidence-based information is always what you look for.
Yeah, so, like the C era, got a lot of bullshit in that area.
The
False
2020s.
evidence appearing real. That's exactly right, Angel. Choice seeker.
Yeah, fear. Fear is a big motivator.
Pure porn.
Question. With that stuff going on, I need to ask, is this going to expand government control or justify new laws? That one question. Well, what I'm saying, expand government control or justify new laws. Okay. Analyze coverage patterns. So psyops all the time dominate the news cycle and they drown out other stories.
Yeah.
Real news.
Yeah, just like the Russiagate crap. Russia
Coexists with other reports. Let me say that again. Real news coexists with other reports about stuff that's going on. If one topic is everywhere, while major global events get completely ignored, you're in the middle
Red
of a
flag.
psyop.
Red flag. All right.
Next
I'll
is
be right
look
back.
for follow-ups. This is
Where's the follow-ups on the drones? That's what I'm going to know. One thing Trump has done to disappoint me is coming up right next.
This is it. Real news evolves with new updates. Real news evolves with new updates. PSYOPs fade once they've served their purpose. I'll say that one more time if you're taking notes. PSYOPs will fade away when they have served their purpose. So as an example, if you see some inflated, sensational story that just vanishes after a week with no follow-up, that is called a distraction. It's called a distraction. So finally is trust your gut. Does it feel scripted? Sometimes things feel just off, and I want you to trust your instincts. Back them up with research if you want to. So what can you do? Like, what the hell can you do about all this? The most important thing that I could give you, and I had no idea that I was going to really be talking about any of this, but the most important thing is cultivate critical thinking skills. Learn to spot the propaganda. Go back through what I just talked about, the recording. Chris is going to make this recording available to everyone. I don't know how or where. We'll make it available to everybody here.
Good. Don't strike you, Chase.
I don't care if you're an NCII plus or whatever. Look for patterns in how the media or the government communicates about things, maybe UFOs. Do they spot, or do they focus on fear? Or are they offering solutions that involve giving up freedom or increasing government power? So try to diversify all the places that you're getting news from. Try to block every single news provider that you can possibly think of and use AI to get your news. And tell AI to be concise and apolitical in its answer. It's the best way.
I've never heard of that. Chat GPT. Write that down, honey.
Okay.
I can remember that.
To do it. So I want you to memorize these three questions if you're taking notes. Number one, who benefits from this narrative? Number two, what evidence is being shown and is it verifiable? Number three, why now? Why is it happening right now? Next is strengthen your psychological state. Recognize these fear tactics. Fear is
Recognize the bullshit.
the number one easiest way to control human beings. Governments use all kinds of stuff as a way to unite people under a single narrative. So stay calm, question why you're being told to be afraid.
They also use events to divide people.
To what? To buy them?
Divide the people.
Divide.
Yes.
Okay.
There's lots of things to divide the people. And then if they need us united, they'll do something to unite people. Like in a big fire, everybody's united because it doesn't matter what politics are when your house is burning to the ground.
Question why you're being told to be afraid. And this sounds like some bullshit trope you might see on some yoga instructor video, but mindfulness is one of the most powerful practices that you could start to adopt today. There's a million videos on it on YouTube. I'm not going to go into how to do it today. It's one of the most powerful things you can do just in general for your success in your life, but it's going to help insulate you from some of this stuff. So just a few other ones. Stay connected to your community, not your online community. Get to know who your neighbors are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
California, nobody knows their neighbors. I know my neighbors. But
your neighborhood is important when there are emergencies, and you can look out for each other. And
I do have,
like the guy across the street looks after our house when we're gone, and just it's cool to have that community. So many people are lost in their cell phone.
I have a little network. If shit goes down, what do we do? I mean, I've got 4 or 5 guys with a little plan, where to meet, and stuff like that. High ground usually.
Get to know your neighbors. Walk across the street, know everybody that lives around you. Go introduce yourself if you haven't already. Your neighbors might be more important than you realize here if something goes down. Build self-reliance as much as you possibly can. Stay grounded in reality.
Be prepared.
One of the most important things. Be freaking prepared for not shopping at Safeway for 3 months. Okay, you're not getting any food or gas for 3 months. What are you going to do? Most people are going to die within about 20, 30 days. Starvation, whatever. But if you don't have food, and you don't have water, you don't have power, what the hell are you going to do? And if you're out there and you don't have the ability to live for 3 months, at least, you got, enough longer than that. Start working on that, because you never know. Look at Los Angeles. I mean, these people have a zero. The house is gone. They don't know what the hell is going to happen. Living in some shelter or hotel. A lot of people are rich and have second homes or whatever, but a lot of those people inherited those houses from their parents. And they were like welders and like plumbers and roofers and shit like that. So.
And a lot of those people worked for the rich people. Like, it's not only the rich people that lost their homes or, everybody else, but the people that worked for them, the gardeners, the people that clean their pools, all the coffee shops and the CVS's and the grocery stores. I mean, there are this affected 100,000 people or more, this fire. I mean, where are all these people going to go? It's a little off topic, but it just, I always go back to those fires. It's just
California
so sad.
fire. I'm just going to cover this drone shit real quick. We're going to wrap it up.
Okay, sorry.
Always remind yourself that there's a lot of stuff going on, and through all the shit we've been through as a species, as a country, as a globe, things usually just turn out okay in the end. It's not that big of a deal. And finally, just get your mindset protected.
Don't freak out. Whatever you do, don't act on emotion. Don't go running into the woods with your hair on fire. If power goes out for 3 weeks and you don't have food or water. Prepare for that shit. Don't, just think about how many people are going to be freaking out if that kind of thing happens. And it's happened before, and it'll happen again. I hope I never have to go through it, but if it happens, I'm ready.
The more people panic, the more easily governments can sweeping control the nation. So practice a little bit of skepticism and help other people to stay calm. That's your job. If you remember, you are the one studying authority and confidence and leadership. That's your job to help people stay calm.
Amen, brother.
So stay educated, but just balanced. So research topic, like if you want to learn about this stuff, go Google Project Bluebeam It may keep you up all night, but
And
you take a look at that. So fear-driven conspiracies can be just as manipulative as a government conspiracy.
all right, I think we're done with that one.
That was a good one. Who is what's that guy? What's his name?
Chase Hughes, Hughes.
Oh, Hughes. Okay.
Yeah. I think this is the right one. Let me share this shit. This is crazy.
What is this?
See if I got the right one.
Okay.
On the
Hey,
latest
Judy Ann.
plane.
That's the air. That's the flame. That's that.
Oh.
Let me
Oh,
see if I can find that video I was looking for.
This is tragic. Just so much death and
This
destruction.
one. Hold on.
Hold on.
I'm getting there right here. Hold on.
This is the American Airlines and the Black Hawk.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? It could have been a much bigger plane. 67 people is a lot of people, but a lot of these airplanes hold 200, 300 people. So thank goodness.
All right.
It was a smaller plane, maybe less passengers, not full. I don't know. But yeah, it's amazing how my mom, God rest her soul, was the panic driven member of our household. I mean, I'm glad she's not around to see all the shit show that is this decade.
Yeah.
She would for sure. She panicked for Y2K and
Yeah.
had like a year's worth.
I remember that. Everybody's freaking out, trying to program shit. World's gonna end on Y2K. I was like, give me that freaking break. Nothing's gonna happen. Check this out. See these little planes right here?
Yeah.
What is that big ass thing right there?
Is that our UAP?
I don't know what it is, but sure is freaking huge.
And what are those little planes? Are those helicopters?
Holy moly! That's straight up, you guys. I told you.
Damn.
Holy moly! Oh my god! Oh my god! See, I told you. That's straight up, you guys. I told you. Holy moly! Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's the kind of shit I'm talking about that we have. Nobody knows about.
Where was that?
Don't know. That's one of our starships. I'm kidding you.
Starship Enterprise.
That's probably the name
Yep,
of it.
that's what Bogey says. Starship Enterprise,
Starship
Captain
Enterprise,
Kirk.
Captain Kirk. Right there.
Yep.
Big new starship. You think we don't have spaceships? We've been paying attention. So what do you want to get into next? Fire or plane crash? Oh, I want to hear this. Hold on. This is what pissed me off earlier.
shared with me in the Oval Office from President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA.
You're a lying son of a, you know what?
Pomeranian.
Liar. Bullshit.
For research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In meantime, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy. A statement from the President of the United States to start this briefing with some news.
You believe that? So that's one thing that I'm disappointed in. They lied to us about the drones. Straight up lie. I mean, they're going over the it's been 3 years they've been going over military bases. They don't know what they are. They can't catch them with their jets. Jet from one guy that flew a jet to chase one, he ran out of gas and had to come back. And that damn drone is faster than the jet. Doesn't need no gas. Probably doesn't need a battery either. Probably using gravitic. 500 years at the speed of light to go the length of the Milky Way. If you travel conventionally, yeah. The length of the Milky Way would take you way longer than 500 years. It'd take you 500 light years, which is the speed of light. How many years it would take a light to get there? So if you don't use a wormhole or some other way to take a shortcut, you ain't going very many places in space. They've already got that figured out, I believe. So the fires, go ahead. You were talking about the fires.
I was just talking about the people that it affects more than the people losing their homes. Like, that's devastating. Absolutely. And yes, a lot of very wealthy people. I mean, that whole Malibu strip of homes on the beach and restaurants and things like that. So, but all the employees, you've got the rich people there, but then you have all the shops and the gas stations and bookstores and all that stuff. So everything that burned down, all those people that worked there, unemployed. All those schools, those kids have nowhere to go. Teachers are now out of a job. Bus drivers out of a job. It's just so much more far-reaching than losing your home. And then with the way California is, like, one of my patients, a tree fell on their house last winter. So it's been 7 months since a tree fell through, like, their back bedroom or something like that. So luckily, I work in a really affluent area and these people have huge houses or second homes. But it's been over 7 months that a tree fell on their back bedroom. It's still not complete. It took them, $10,000 just to get a permit to repair their home after a tree fell. It's not like they're building a second story. It's not like they're adding on. They're repairing an existing structure and they can't get a permit or they have to pay for it. I mean, it's just.
Who are you talking about?
What?
Who are you talking about?
Fixing houses. Never mind.
You're just talking about a hypothetical?
No, I was talking about one of my patients.
Oh, that's what I was asking.
Yeah. You weren't listening.
I was. How long did it take him to get a permit?
Months. And it cost a lot of money. Yeah. So, it costs money to get a permit to fix something that a tree fell on. I just feel like it's
so.
So
to ask for forgiveness and get permission. That's the way I feel about permits. Pictures of what you're doing. Make sure it's up to code. And just do it. Once it's done, they come and they're like, "What did you do?" And you're like, "Here's what I did. It's all up to code." And they're like, "Oh shit." They're going to tear your house down.
Well, sometimes you'll get a cool inspector, but I don't know. It's just this area in particular it's so difficult to get anything done, and it's so expensive and time consuming. So I just feel bad because LA, part of California, they are just not fast with letting people rebuild. And Trump met with
Karen Bass.
Yeah, and was like, let the people go in on their own and clean up. And she's like, oh, of course, of course. But
it's like we want them to be safe. Can't let them in there. Can't let them clean up their own stuff. We want them to be safe. I got a tractor out there in a dump truck. If that happened to me, I'd already have it cleaned up. Be all putting down sill plate, ready to build. Messing around. Like Trump said, it's like they need to go in there now, 24 hours.
yeah, Max,
Fire.
you're right. I mean, that area was so beautiful, and it's going to look like any other subdivision now. Just too bad.
Yeah, it's going to look like, it's going to be condos, according to freaking Gavin Newsom. It's going to be condos. It'll look like hell. And then they'll spend $20 billion on the homeless community.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
I think they spent like $100 billion on homelessness and stuff.
On homeless, and they're still
homeless
homeless.
People don't get shit.
What
are they getting out of this? If you divided that money up between every single homeless person, they could buy a house.
But none of them have houses.
Then, right?
They're all still on the streets.
Yeah.
And we're paying them to be there.
It's a scam, that's why.
I need some eye drops.
Go get some eye drops. For 10 years, fixed downtown Santa Cruz after the 89 earthquake. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, boy. Hit that Santa Cruz hard. Where are you from, Max? Yeah, it's going to be sad. I wish they would plan a community and make it look like Victorian houses, nice little streets. You can go way more money. You're from San Diego? Cool. Mrs. Mab used to live in San Diego. Yeah. Where was I going to go?
Man. So dry. Did you have footage on the fires?
No.
No. Okay. Let's go to the plane crash.
Yeah.
Because I know you have footage on that.
I do.
You do.
Let's check it out.
Ninth, 2025.
Ward Carroll, 627 subscribers. Go sub up. Don't strike me, please.
American Airlines flight.
I'm just doing commentary. Not making any money off of you.
5342, a Bombardier CRJ 701, operated by PSA, took off from Wichita, Kansas, bound for Reagan National. Aboard the flight are 60 passengers, 2 pilots, and 2 flight attendants. A few hours later,
That's a gold top, man. Those things are like where they fly the vice president or some dignitary and all that shit is what they use those for.
But it was was it a training flight?
Yes. Guy only had 500 hours.
Oh, God.
Seat. And
so sad.
Way above the ceiling of 200 feet.
Right. I remember hearing about that. They were only supposed to be flying at 200 feet.
There's a guy named Juan that has the Blancalario channel that I started watching when Shasta Dam melted down. Remember?
What?
Yeah. The dam of Shasta, the Lake Shasta, went remember when it overflowed and the whole dam fell apart, the end of it, and they had to work on it for forever. Anyway, he has an airplane channel.
A UH-60 attached to Bravo Company 12th Aviation Battalion launched out of Davison Army Airfield at Fort Belvoir, Virginia, which is approximately 15 miles away from Washington, D.C. Aboard the Black Hawk are 2 pilots and a crew chief. One of the pilots is an experienced instructor with over 1,000 flight hours, and the other pilot, with 500 flight hours, is undergoing a check ride.
So the guy in the plane teaching the guy only has 1,000 hours of flight time. That's just not a lot. 500 hours is flying, every day for 4 weeks. 8 hours a day for 4 weeks.
They don't fly 8 hours a day though.
I
They
know.
only do.
But
I feel like that's an acceptable, a respectable amount of time.
only 1,000 hours. I mean, some of these pilots have like 20, 30,000 hours.
Well, you have to learn somehow and sometime. I mean,
Yeah. Suppose.
Okay. Carry on.
Seems, all right.
The weather on the evening of January 29th was good. No clouds, visibility unrestricted. Pat 25's evaluation flight takes the Black Hawk from Davison Field to the northern starting point of helicopter Route 1, which is over the American Legion Bridge across the Potomac River, part of the 495 Beltway around Washington, D.C. H-1 follows the river to the south, and as you can see from the notes that accompany the navigation plate, it has several altitude restrictions along the way, basically stair-stepping from 1,300 feet down to 200 feet at the southern limit where the Anacostia River meets the Potomac. At that point, Pat 25 transitions its route of flight southbound along H4, which also has an altitude limit of 200 feet maximum. They are operating under visual flight rules, but are in comms with Reagan Tower at that time. H1 and H4 are well known among military helicopter crews as challenging because of the density of traffic and the overlapping restricted areas.
The density of traffic is a problem in my mind. You have an airport that's relatively small, and you have a huge city right here, right in the middle of Washington, D.C. And you got planes taking off like every minute or something like that. That's way too many.
And I feel like, what is a helicopter doing around an airport if they're not landing there? Like a training run right by an airport?
Base right across the river there.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's where they're training out of. This guy's in a training flight at night. And if they're flying with night vision on, goggles, they're really screwed because
of
the
all
light,
the ambient light, yeah.
the ambient light will blind them. Basically, it'll blare them out. You can't really use those things unless it's dark.
Well, we don't know if they were wearing them or not.
They don't, but they had them with them. They
Yeah,
had them. And
they
they
did.
train with them. So.
Is along the route, and generally only experienced crews are allowed to use them. Meanwhile, American Airlines Flight 5342 has completed the transit from Wichita and is picking up the approach to Reagan National's runway 1 in accordance with the procedures detailed on this approach plate. They're also being controlled by Reagan Tower, but on a different frequency than Pat 25. As Flight 5342 nears the airport, one of the pilots transmits that they're visual on runway 1.
Amazon hates this, but there's nothing they can do to stop it. There's a new electric lighter out there, and it's got the firepower of a military.
In response, the tower controller asks if they can take runway 33, to which the pilot replies, "Yeah, we can do 33.
So it's normal for them to always shoot for the main runway, number 1, I guess it was. And then 33, you got to bank a hard left.
Yeah, they were saying that that's a very difficult landing to take 33.
It's almost like landing on an aircraft carrier because they don't tell you which front to take that 33 until you're right there.
At that point, the tower clears the CRJ for landing. This approach plate shows that the runway 33 approach takes aircraft from an altitude of 1,700 feet at the initial approach fix over the Potomac River, 3.6 nautical miles south of the airport, to an altitude of 490 feet at the visual guidance fix over the land east of the river, 0.6 nautical miles from the field. Now, the evening of this mishap, I was in San Diego attending a reception for the Tailhook Association, and I ran into a good friend, a Naval Academy classmate.
Tailhooker Association? Didn't sound very good.
Sounds kind of fun.
Who flew Tomcats before becoming an airline pilot for American. He's flown into Reagan a lot, and he described the runway 1 to 33 approach as one of the most challenging in the country in that it requires pilots to visually deviate to the east before fairly aggressively turning back to the northwest to line up with runway 33, which is only about 5,200 feet long. He compared the approach to landing on an aircraft carrier using the Case 1 pattern. As
We've
Flight
heard this
5342 is back.
What's that, sweet?
I said, oh, we've heard this before.
Over the river on final glide path, the tower controller's screen is giving him a CA or collision avoidance warning. So he asks Pat 25, do you have the CRJ in sight? And then gives them instructions to pass behind Flight 5342, which would be a deviation to the east. Pat 25 replies, aircraft in sight, and then says, requesting separation.
Okay, there's a problem right there because the controller already told him what to do.
Right. Why did the controller ask him to go to 3-3? That's what I want to know.
Because there was traffic probably taking off on 3-3 or on
on 1. They should have just had him circle.
Yeah.
Circle back. Come back in 5 minutes.
But
okay. All right. Sorry. Go on.
Which is sort of confusing because the tower has already told them to pass behind the airliner. Several camera views captured what happened next. Here's the view from the Kennedy Center, which is upriver from DCA. You can see the Lincoln Memorial and the 14th Street Bridge below, and another aircraft that just took off right before the collision happens. Here's a zoom.
Okay, there's the helicopter right there. There's the bright beaming light. Of course, it's shining at us, so the helicopter doesn't necessarily see that.
The plane was above the helicopter.
Exactly, they're coming down for a landing. The helicopter is way too high, supposed to be at 200 feet, and something's going on with their visuals because they don't see the plane. I think they see this plane.
The other plane.
This one.
The one on the upper right of the screen.
This plane is this plane. Maybe they don't see this plane at all, and they think this one's the one they're supposed to go behind, which they're doing.
Right.
Zoomed in version of that same view.
Boom. There goes 60.
Here's a view from somebody who is driving onto Joint Base Bowling, which is across the river due east of DCA. And here's footage captured by a bystander at the airport.
Ouch.
The midair killed 60.
Imagine you're sitting in the cockpit or sitting in your seat. You got the window seat. And you're looking out, and you see that, and you're getting ready for takeoff. You're like, oh shit! What do I do now? I can't get out of the plane. I think I'd jump right through we always sit in the emergency exit row. I like sitting in that row because it's by the door.
And there's more leg room.
I'm the first one out. Or at least I got control over who goes out and when.
54 people aboard the CRJ and 3 soldiers in the Black Hawk. So how did this happen? Well, one of my Patreon patrons, who's a private pilot and civil aviation insider, forwarded me a Reddit thread that provides what I think is a credible explanation for what might have happened from a military helicopter veteran. So let me read it to you. He goes by Tupperwolf and identifies himself as a Coast Guard helo pilot who's flown that route, meaning helo routes 1 and 4, 1,000 times. A few paragraphs down, Tupperwolf writes, landing on 3-3 is not as common as landing on runway 1. Airliners are often not cleared / switched to runway 33 until just a few miles south of the Wilson Bridge. Let's say the H-60 is southbound and is told to maintain visual separation with the landing CRJ. The 60 crew may not have caught that the CRJ in question was landing 33, which is less common. They look south and see lights of the next aircraft lined up for runway 1, and they report, quote, traffic in sight will maintain visual separation, end quote. Then they cruise south, looking south. Maybe the CRJ is a little low on their approach and the H-60 is accidentally a little high on their route and fails to see the CRJ approaching from their 10 o'clock. The CRJ is focused on DCA, which is surrounded by a sea of lights in the metro area. They don't notice one small set of lights out of place at their 1 to 2 o'clock as they focus on the runway. The controller believes the helo will maintain visual separation, so wouldn't suspect a problem until it's too late to do anything.
I want to know, have you made this mistake with your holster? And by mistake, I mean, did you get a holster that's uncomfortable so you don't carry all the time? You may have. And even if you hadn't, you probably want a holster that's more comfortable. Enter the Vanish holster, the world's...
Bam. Tupper-Wolff's hypothesis is backed up by this ATC radar screen grab that Juan at the Blanco Lirio channel highlighted in his latest episode on this topic. The display shows PAT 25 deviating above the minimum H4 altitude as Flight 5342 is descending on the approach. Tupper-Wolff goes on to address the issue around whether or not the pilots were wearing night vision goggles, something Secretary of Defense Hegseth confirmed that they had in their possession on that flight. However, at this point, it's unknown if they were actually wearing them. Tupper-Wolff writes the following: I'm in the Coast Guard, but I assume this Army crew likely had NVGs, but goggles are not a panacea.
It would have been, if it was a training mission, maybe they were training with night vision, but it'd be stupid to do that with all the lights around, because your peripheral vision is wiped out and the light can blind you.
Yeah, they don't show color. They dramatically limit your peripheral views, and in bright urban environments, they can get oversaturated, also known as washed out. Flying through DC, it can change minute by minute as to whether you're better off, quote unquote, aided, goggles down in front of your eyes, or quote unquote, unaided, goggles flipped up out of the way on your helmet. Sometimes it even varies depending on which side of the aircraft you're on. Just because they had goggles doesn't mean they were more likely to see the airliner. The airliner has a lot of bright lights on already, and the same goggles that help them avoid trees and power lines could also have reduced their peripheral vision at key moments. And lastly, on the...
That's true. I'm just going to stop it and talk so they don't strike me. I not have a very good record with this. Like, you know, when I was doing videos before, I I don't know how many, I didn't get struck, but I got copywritten, you got to play a song or something like that.
The issue of whether or not either the airliner or the helicopter had the Terrain Collision Avoidance System, or TCAS, Tupper-Wolff writes, TCAS is great, but speaking for the systems I'm familiar with, they're not primarily designed for a dense airport environment like that. Its accuracy at short range is not great. And with so many aircraft so close to you, including those that are sitting on the ground at DCA, you generally have to mute or inhibit the alerts because it would go off constantly and drown out your communications with your crew and ATC.
So anything that's an automatic warning if somebody gets too close, all that shit gets turned off when you're landing or in an area like that, because you're too close to everybody. That's the problem.
Think about a Ring doorbell camera. It's great for alerting you when a suspicious person shows up unexpected at 1 a.m., but it's not much good while you're having a house party at 7 p.m. You probably muted it because you know there are dozens of people there and you're okay with it. I have no idea what kind of system the CRJ or H-60 have or what their procedures are, but it's possible that TCAS could have been saturated/muted while flying that close to DCA. And even if it wasn't, they may not have been able to distinguish the alert for the CRJ from another aircraft until it's too late. So who's at fault here? Well, I'm hearing a lot of experts on the news intimating that it was the helicopter crew's fault. I'll let the NTSB and U.S. Army's investigate.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see how it could have been the airplane's fault. He was just landing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like a helicopter can certainly maneuver more quickly than a jet airplane.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One more I want to show. Bam. What's this? Setting something up. I'm setting something up real quick.
Okay. is dying. Hang on, I gotta plug in my phone.
All right. 4 o'clock. I got to go to the.
Gotta go to Home Depot.
No, I got to go to Big Creek Lumber.
Oh, you have to go all the way out there?
Well, it's closer to Home Depot.
Oh, we have a water issue. That cement slab that you saw from earlier, up against the garage, and it was uneven, and so some water pooled up against the garage and rotted out some of the wood, and so Mab took off some siding, and it's supposed to rain any minute, and so we need to get some more siding and get that fixed. So we were going to also do that today, but it's 4 o'clock now.
Yeah.
So we're going
to have to dip on this pretty quick. And that sucks.
That was super interesting.
Yeah.
It's so sad though that, I mean, a plane crash is terrible.
Yeah. You guys should look up Benny. Watch this video on the plane.
Benny Johnson?
Yeah.
Your boy Benny?
Boy.
We like him. We like Benny. God, my eyes burn so much.
Ever again. And the problem is that people are.
This is Benny.
Stretching
The Benny Show.
not make you flexible, and it will not eliminate your recurring injuries. Stretching will relax your muscles.
Evidence this guy just went nuts, but we don't know. I mean, it'd be really nice to get some type of real rock solid reporting from this.
Got a dog.
So America's already primed. This is called priming. So America's already primed with these 2 attacks to say, what's going on with our military? Something wrong? Like, we love our military. I don't want this to happen. We have to talk about bad things to prevent them from happening in the future.
Did we get Doggo?
I have many military.
What about the dog?
I'm trying to get a picture. There he is. He's bugging me.
Oh.
Lucas.
Members of my family, and I've been on the call with them, and military members will be on the show today. And I've been on the phone call, on the horn with them, like, why is this happening? And then 24 hours ago, we watched one of our most sophisticated pieces of military equipment that exists. Helicopters that can fly actually like drones. They can fly autonomously.
That's kind of scary.
There's a big theory about that on the internet. Why not get into it? Why not? This is what people are talking about. Who was flying?
I mean, that helicopter was just going in a straight line. He didn't try to swerve and speed, go down, go up.
This Black Hawk helicopter. Why did this Black Hawk helicopter fly directly into a commercial airline jet upon which I frequent?
Was there anybody in that helicopter?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
The American Airlines.
Who was on that airplane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the names?
Who was on that airplane?
No, who was in the helicopter?
Both.
We know who's in the plane. Passengers and crew.
But what about those passengers? Any inventors? Any
ice skaters? Olympics?
Yeah, like who was on that plane?
Probably that one chick that broke that other ice skater's leg. Remember that? Tanya Harding?
Yes.
Probably her. Taking out ice skater. Remember that?
It's just like the airline that I fly every single week. Maybe I'm sure you've flown plenty of American Airlines flights. This one was coming from Wichita, Kansas. And it was doing a relatively routine and cleared route into Ronald Reagan. And then a Black Hawk helicopter flies like right into it, and it's blaring like the sun. Here's the new footage, ladies and gentlemen, of this Black Hawk helicopter.
Bam. Yeah, I don't see how that can happen.
Hitting this commercial flight and then crashing into the Potomac. This Black Hawk helicopter hitting this commercial flight and then crashing into the Potomac. Footage obtained by CNN. You can see the helicopter there. Pause, please. Pause. Okay. We're not here to like show you disaster porn. I'm not here to do anything other than prevent this from ever happening in the future. Americans must be confident that we can travel securely for our economy to run. Americans must be able to move, and we must be able to create, and we must be able to be confident that we are safe when we're doing that. Now, there have been 150 million commercial airline flights since the last deadly commercial airline disaster in 2009. But that was just the plane malfunctioning, okay? Just is what it is. This, look at the light. Obviously, you can see there's the chopper, there's the commercial airline. Commercial airliner has those big, giant, glaring, fiery lights looking like a planet in the sky.
No. Benny.
And the Apache helicopter,
Easy, buddy.
which was flying way too high and was flying on now we know, an unauthorized route.
Well, he wasn't even on the right route. And
Really? See, this makes me think conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I want to know who was on that airplane. I feel like
see. You want to know
I
the
feel like
and who they were.
one of
Just
those
like,
passengers.
remember the Malaysian airline?
Right. Like
They had
was
high-tech dudes on there.
My brain goes there because Mab has taught my brain to go there.
Well, you got to look at things with a, hey, Sheila.
Critical eye.
You going to Watsonville? Oh, I'm going to Watsonville, yes. Got to go to Watsonville, and I got to go pretty soon, like 7 minutes. So let's listen to a little bit more of this, and then we're going to have to bounce.
Just goes right into it. Right into it. Okay, let's play it. It's tough to watch, man. Watch. Jeez. You know, these Apache helicopters, the purpose of these helicopters are to protect our service members inside of war zones. Again, we're going to have veterans who served our military and fought in brutal and deadly battlefields joining the program to talk about this. So I'll bring on the experts with diverse.
So if you want to store gasoline for emergency or whatever,
So many commercials. I mean,
in a metal container,
City
you mute
hires
it? Oh.
and enjoy early retirement. Let's go.
so if you want to store gasoline for
Mute it. Mute it till
emergency
it's
or
over.
whatever,
So I don't know exactly how the staffing occurred in that particular air traffic control tower. And it sounds like there was a shortage, and the investigation will tell us more about that. But the environment around which we choose pilots or air traffic controllers, as the president pointed out correctly yesterday, better be the highest possible standard, the best of the best who are
It's like firefighters, right? We would hope.
managing, multiple flights. I mean, a flight a minute and managing radio traffic. I think the closest analogy to military service, guys, is pilots or air traffic controllers. I don't care what background they come from, what their race is, what their gender is, if they're rich,
Who they sleep with and behind closed doors.
We
or
don't
they're poor.
care.
I just need them to be good at their job because I need my flight to land safely. The same thing applies to the Defense Department, to our military. I don't care about your background, your gender, or your skin color. I want the best. And that's why when the president says merit-based and colorblind, he's exactly right across government. So he's correct to point out at the
Across
FAA.
the board.
And across the line.
For every single job. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
As long as you can do your job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
should
honestly.
Yeah,
I am not offended by men or women or
whatever.
any combination thereof or skin color. But when I went this morning to get my blood draw, I don't care what you look like as long as you can get that needle in my vein on the first try. Otherwise, I'm walking out.
Firefighter that, a lesbian firefighter that did that video that said that
that she will never live that down.
If I have to get that guy out of the fire, he got himself in the wrong place.
Like, that's asinine.
I know.
She should be fired for saying that. I'm sorry, but that was
I'll be fired.
so out of touch that read the room.
Never
Lady.
cut the firefighters' budget, especially when you got the richest people in the damn world living in your place paying property taxes. You got billions of dollars to play with, and you spend it all on homelessness and shit and immigration crap, and then your city burns down. It's almost like you got what you had it coming.
I hate that. I think we're going to see a change in California over the next few years with
I hope we do.
government and
on our flights. It should not be about anything other than excellence. That's it. Excellence. I don't care the color of the skin of the pilot on my plane or in the air traffic control. But we've, for too long under Biden, cared about those things, emphasized those things, pushed real or perceived quotas. At the Defense Department, we're ending all of that. It's been made very clear across all of our services and commands. It is merit only. And that means we'll get the best of the best. And that's what our taxpayers and the American people expect and deserve. And in the business of warfighting, which the Defense Department is in, if you don't have the best of the best, you lose people. And that's why this is so important.
Can you pause?
On that note,
Wait,
we're going to bounce. Because
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say hi to Mustang Sally. We were chatting. And to Fun Size. Fun Size says there was a plane crash in Philadelphia.
You're kidding. Another one?
Yeah, Joshua said that too earlier. My eyes are bothering me so much I couldn't see it. So thanks for that input. We'll look into that. And oh wait, somebody else. I just feel like I missed people. I have missed people.
Can't get everybody.
Saint H, Just Chillin', Jody Ann. I feel like I've missed some people on here, you guys. If I missed you, I'm sorry. My eyes are just so dry. It's hard for me to see my phone. But yeah, we've got to bounce. We got to go to get some lumber. I don't know where we're going.
Exciting. And we love you guys. Thanks for coming. On that note, we have to bounce, get some lumber. Got to get the lumber.
Got to get the lumber.
So we will see you very soon, possibly this weekend.
Well, for sure on Turtle Island.
Yeah, you'll see us
on
there.
Sunday.
We'll be there, rooting for ourselves. All right, you guys.
Oh, Sheila, thank you. We will. We'll do our best. We always seem to have some technical issues, but
next videos we will.
Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for coming out to watch us in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay warm.
Amen.
And we'll see you soon.
All right. Peace.
All right. Good night.